374 years that I can trace people of my family been on this island.
This is your house?
Yes, this is mine. We talk backward too. If I see a real pretty girl, I'll go, damn, she ain't pretty none.
What is this, a 6-foot wide main road?
Welcome to my office. This is where the pirate used to live.
The pirates lived.
See how the water will set under a house? Little by little, that house will sink and sink and sink. Hey, how you doing? We call each other yarny, the old English word for friend. This is how my mother taught me how to do it.
Perfect crab meat.
This is one of the last shot in the American Revolution.
That is the public school bus.
My son's on that boat right there. Not just a cake, the Smith Island cake. These people were very, very poor, but they came here a lot for the freedom.
Crisfield, Maryland. We're about to take a boat ride here off to Smith Island. Smith Island has roughly 200 people living there to this day. Their accent traces back to the early English settlers from the 17th century. I've been told this place is stuck in time. Some haven't left in weeks, months, even years. We're meeting up with an old school local, a crabber, whose family's been there since the 1600s. He told me, Peter, I can show you what our culture is about, and it's totally different than the rest of America. Let's do this. Here we are in Smith Island's biggest city, Ewell.
The capital.
So Jerry, since the 1600s, you told me, your family's been here.
Yeah, 1650. The first ancestor was born here, so it's telling me they're actually here a little bit before that.
Oh, wow. And then here we have some old homes. That one looks abandoned, huh?
And somebody lives there, they're remodeling it. But,
the one with the plywood on the windows?
Yep.
So who lives out here? People that grew up here, obviously, and those that just want to get away from society?
Yeah, pretty much. People who have already made their fortune in life and want to retire out somewhere peaceful.
That place looks a little haunted, maybe.
Yeah. And nobody's ever lived in that house as long as I've been here on the island. There's only a few places like that. That when I was a kid, every house had somebody in it.
Okay, so growing up here, what was the population?
I think when I was a kid, it was around 600.
Okay, and we're down to 2.
Yeah. I'd say about 100 people left one year.
What year was that?
Somewhere around the early 90s, maybe 95, 96, somewhere in there. Crabbing got really bad and a prison opened. So everybody, you know, I mean, I don't blame them. It was health care and steady job and steady money.
Oh, prison on the mainland.
Yes.
No cops on the island at all?
No, not now. Used to be a sheriff here a long time ago, but not now.
So you guys self-regulate?
Yeah, pretty much. We know what goes on. This post office used to fly a British flag until the late 60s because we were Tories until the revolution was over.
Till the late, what, 60s?
1960s.
1960s?
Yeah, so it used to fly just under the American flag.
Okay, so you have a lot of affinity towards the Brits here.
Yeah, back then they did, because they were pretty much left out here to dry. They had to pretty much side with the British. They had no defense.
The Brits and the French were fighting it out here in Chesapeake Bay, right?
The Revolution, the very end of the Revolution. A couple skirmishes happened a little after. I found a cannonball not too long ago that was from a skirmish of 1782. Yeah, that was when it was over. Yep, 1782.
You found a cannonball?
Yeah, it's called Chain Shop. I remember reading the history of where I was standing at. The British commander ordered the cannons loaded with chain shot, which is 2 cannonballs linked in the middle with a piece of chain, and it's used to take out the rigging of a sailing ship.
Interesting. This place burned down recently?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago. A wildfire kind of crossed here and caused it to catch on fire.
All right, this is the end of Ewell.
Leaving the capital, going to Rose Point, going to the hood.
Is this where you live, Jared, in the hood?
This is where I live, the hood.
The road to Rogue Point, only the brave drive it?
Yeah, well,
Something like that?
It's pretty calm. See all of these places over there? Probably 10 or so homes used to be there before I was born.
That green island there?
Yeah, there was a doctor. They call that over the doctor's gut.
So why is no one living
There was
over
a
there
church. Because it seemed like after the farming, they used it up pretty much. And then it was a lot of salt water, you know, the ocean was rising, and all this land that used to be farmland turned into marsh.
Oh, this was farmland back in the day.
Big stretches of it was. They're called ridges. That's where they all came and lived on. If you dig into it, then you're digging into native artifacts because they were there first. I've dug several artifacts out of my yard. Dug 2 arrowheads and a lot of chips and stuff like that.
You still have them?
Oh, yeah.
That's your dump? You guys burn the trash here?
That's what's called a burn pile. They put like leaves and old wood and stuff like that on burn. This is all white goods, they call it. Refrigerators, washing machines, stuff like that, all the metal. Then that gets loaded on a boat and took off of here.
Okay.
And all the scrap from the burn pile, that'll get a bulldozer and a big truck will come over once or twice a year and scrape all that up. This is where the pirate used to live. It used to be called Rogue's Point.
The pirates lived?
Yeah, one of the guys, him and his nephew lived here.
So Pirates of the Chesapeake Bay, that's where this took place, or?
No, we talk about pirates, we think jewels and gold and all, but I think theirs is more like river pirates. They're stealing your cargo. Either right here or over that way a little bit is where Marmaduke lived. From what I understand and what I've read, he would tear boat, you know, like they would bring in a boat they captured, take all the pieces and everything useful off of it, and then just use it for firewood.
You don't need license plates here, huh?
Technically, I think you do, but they don't do anything. You can buy a little $25 thing, and then it like lets you drive around the island.
But when you don't have cops, then
no.
Who's gonna stop you?
This was my aunt's house 2 years ago now. A tornado come through here, and there's a viral video of it. It come right straight across here and turned right here. And she was laying in bed in a little pile right there, and the whole building and all had like covered her like in a cocoon. She didn't get a scratch on her.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. This used to be a restaurant back then. Back in the day, there was a gift shop right here on this little lot.
Methodist church?
Yep, Methodist church. All three are Methodist. But somewhere right around here, from here on down to the end, this road is over 300 and some years old. This piece of road right here.
It's older than the USA.
It's one of the oldest roads probably in the whole country. When you look, you see Tyler, Evans, Marsh, Bradshaw, all the names are represented.
What's your last name, Jerry?
My name's Smith.
Oh. The island is named after you?
No.
You're named after the island?
No, it's no. Actually, from what I understand, the guy, his name was Henry Smith. He came here in the 1600s, somewhere around 1699, and he what's called a patent. They would, I guess the king would grant tracts of land, and they're called hundreds, and it meant that 100 people could live on a tract of land. This would probably have been called Rogue's 100 or something like that, or Bradshaw's 100. And it should be sufficient enough size for 100 people to live on a tract of land. Hey, how you doing?
All right.
He's a Yarny too.
He's a what?
He's a Tangierman. We call each other Yarny, which is like an old English word for friend. That means friend.
Yarny.
Yeah, Yarny.
So Tangier Island, for those that don't know, just south of here.
Yep, 7 miles in that direction. How you doing? We looked at some yesterday. They weighed fish Monday.
Buddy.
Had 0.
Well,
0. So it looks like maybe 4 or 5 days would be a good soak time for them now.
yeah. Guess the kitty fishes ate them all up. They ate no oysters.
They're eating oyster too?
Yeah, the man had it on their pictures. He had minnows, oysters, big clams, and a load of crabs.
Ah.
How about that? What
He wouldn't
really
have-
did you ask?
Uh-huh. Hey.
Oh, yeah? Cool. Good, you? I'm loving it out here.
It's pretty nice. Bugs ain't got. you. My name's Chad.
It's
Chad,
Bradshaw.
okay.
He's a
Nice to meet
Bradshaw.
you. You're a Bradshaw, Chad.
Yeah.
I'm Bradshaw.
Yeah, this man was been here forever.
Yeah, well, nice to see you.
Take care.
You're the first person I've seen that's famous. In my life.
Jerry's famous.
See you later. I was wondering if somebody would. I knew. It's like somebody's gonna see him. Because I believe I recognize your voice actually. Not even from your videos, but actually your voice from somewhere. I don't know where.
I'm coming into your dreams, Jerry.
I tell you, it might be.
Or your nightmares.
I like to turn on YouTube and go to sleep. So you might have come across YouTube somewhere along the line. It's very possible. Yeah.
So what's going on here?
This house and my house, both of these were built right around 1880.
This is your house?
Yes, this is my house. This is my wreck.
You got a leaky roof, Jerry?
Yeah. This is Hurricane Sandy done this.
Oh. I'm gathering a lot of you guys own your homes outright. You don't have home insurance.
No. At the time, they promised us a load of stuff, and we left. We moved somewhere else for 7 years. Well, you leave a house like this open for 7 years.
Yeah.
You can see what happens.
What about FEMA?
They came in and they said, "Oh, we're going to build you a new house." They paid rent 9 months. That was it.
So when it rains, you're having problems with water going through?
I don't even go in that part of the house. I just live in the back part of the house.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. I come out here this morning and cleaned up a little bit.
This is your work shed?
Yeah.
Are you guys called crabbers?
Waterman is the old English word.
This is where the magic happens, Jerry?
This is where the magic happens.
And so this is the gateway to your work. So you go off here, you're bringing the crabs back, and you're...
The drudges, see the end of the wood, the drudges sitting there?
Yep.
You throw the scrape out and you drag it. I got a video of shows how I do it. And you know, it's hard work. It's all in your back and in your hands and your arms. And sometimes it's side to side. You don't stop all day until you get home.
That's you crabbing?
Mm-hmm.
And you upload these to YouTube. I'll leave the link so people can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what you guys are doing to create a little barrier here? So when the waves come in, this is just a water break for you?
Yeah, up until a point, but it'll probably get about this deep or so here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what about your house? You're not up on stilts?
When it'll come in it. It comes in it when we have storms. That's usually about once every 2 years.
So really the water comes over your floor?
Oh yeah, I'll have a foot of water in the house. Let's stretch
and
out the recliner.
You just walk around in the boots?
Walk around in the boots, hit the recliner, watch TV until the tide goes back down. Watch it come in, watch it go out. see the minnows swimming all around.
The minnows in your house?
Yes. That's the minnows.
Jerry, you have such a good attitude.
Why not? You can take your life any way you want. You can blame every little thing happens on you and make it the worst possible life, or you can take what you have got and make it the best possible life. And that's the way I look at it.
So we're taking the boat to the next town.
Yep, it's off to itself.
This isn't your fishing boat, is it?
No. This is a friend of mine's boat. Mine's right over there.
But this is better for cruising, huh?
Yeah, better for cruising. You know.
Yeah, a little school chair here.
You get it, A.
Get this one?
Yeah, if you want. Here, wait a minute.
That's right. There we go. Rookie mistake.
Oh, that's all right. When my son was a little kid, that's all he wanted to do was tie the boat, and he'd get mad if I didn't let him tie the boat. He'd make me go turn out and come back in.
Jerry, I can't put it in words, and I'm in the honeymoon period because I just got here, but there's a feeling here.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've had people, this is true, a friend of mine, he came here from Pennsylvania, and he was the kind of person who worked constantly. I mean, like 2 o'clock in the morning, he's a carpenter. 2 o'clock in the morning, you could see him still working. And he's been here about 2-3 years now. He's back to island time.
Did you bring out the Jaws shirt for this shoot, or do you usually rock that? That's a classic.
I usually rock it, but I thought it was clean. See that one down there? That one down there, that's called hog neck. It was a preacher from a long time ago. His name was Joshua Thomas. They called him the parson of the island. He used to sail from Deal's Island down through here and preach to all the islands. And he preached to the British just before they went and invaded D.C. in the War of 1812, and he preached to them. He told them they were going to lose, and they lost. This is one of my favorite places to crab right here. See the spot to crab? Can you see it now?
Yeah, a little bit.
See that? That's Tangier.
Tangier.
Yep, right there, Tangier.
And over there you said they have a totally different accent.
Yes, it's completely different.
How do they speak?
It's a more drawn out. It's drawn out. They draw their words a little more than we do. You would think we would sound a lot like them because they're only 7 miles away, but we sound more like the people in Carolina. Like they call it the Carolina brogue.
Your accent?
Yeah.
Okay, what is their accent?
Elizabethan. They say they're both Elizabethan, but theirs sounds a little older. If I'll tell the truth, their accent does. God almighty, these bugs. But it does sound old. Theirs sound older. I'm gonna do this real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Let's move. Let's keep this thing moving. They're crazy.
That is savage.
Wow. Yeah, we wouldn't have got out of the boat.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have lived that long.
Okay, what's going on here, Jerry?
Right here, in this little area right here, this is where John Tyler first came to the island, where he was born right here, right in this one little place. He was born here in 1650. And that's my 10th great-grandfather.
Does it feel amazing to be that connected to the land?
Yes, it is.
I mean, those are serious roots.
Wow, this is awful. I didn't think they'd be this bad.
So this is where Smith Island started.
Yep.
You got the U.S. Coast Guard?
Yeah, I guess he's here to check on something.
I'm okay with leaving my backpack here?
You're fine. I think we can chain it to the chair there.
So no crime on the island?
No, very little. I heard about somebody stole somebody's gas a little while ago, but that's about the only thing you ever hear about, somebody stealing gas or something.
Right, because you can't steal a bicycle or a vehicle.
No, you're gonna know where it is.
Jerry, I'll impress you with my skills. I worked on Lake Tahoe one summer.
Oh, yeah?
And let me see if I can do it one-handed.
Oh, there you go. You got her.
All right. Something like that.
That'll work. She ain't going nowhere. So this is Tylerton.
Tylerton.
Yeah.
Or Tylertown.
Yeah, it looks like it says Tylertown, but we say Tylerton.
Tylerton.
Like for the mountains, we say mountain.
Mountain.
Mountain. Oh, and we talk backward too. I don't know if you paid attention to this one yet or not. If I see a real pretty girl, I'll go, damn, she ain't pretty none. And that means she is.
She ain't pretty none.
She ain't pretty none.
And everyone understands that, including her.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. You don't want to say that to a strange girl. One of my best friends in the world. What are you doing, Danny? Not much, just walking around. A friend.
That was you and that eyeball, but I weren't sure. Damn, that looked like Jerry.
I figured we'd come down and get some lunch.
No, sir.
How you doing?
All right,
How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
This is Peter.
Peter Santenello. Santenello?
Santenello.
Santenello.
Hello, ma'am.
He does you.
She ain't pretty none.
How you doing?
Yeah, he's learning. He's
See, that's better, right?
He's learning. Yeah. We grew up together, me and Jerry did.
How was he as a kid? Wild man?
Yeah, about like we are now. Well, I guess we've simmered down a little bit with age, but
they were all wild when they were younger.
Yeah, we were.
So that's the Tylerton accent you're speaking.
Yes,
a little different.
His is a little different than ours.
Yep.
So he's a Tyler. So he's related to the original John Tyler too.
You're related to John Tyler?
Yes, he's one of the John Tylers too.
Yep.
So what do you guys feel about the mainland? Do you just feel like you're in your own world out here? Like totally removed?
Yeah, but more and more the world's coming in.
How so?
Just fast outboards and
I keep the people moved down here at bay.
You,
Give them the rundown.
you keep things in line out
The
here.
do's and the don'ts. Hey, I'm a Southern girl.
I know, I can tell. And that's
I'm
what's
from
in.
West Virginia.
You don't like ma'am. That's interesting because the
Actually,
Southern girls do.
General Robert Lee is my cousin. We thought he married into our family, but then we found out he is a cousin.
Cool.
You know, I tell everybody.
That's
I said,
unbelievable
You
what
don't
you
behave,
can-
I'll put my
what-
Yankee flag up.
It's unbelievable.
Quick,
My
dog.
rubber
It's
flag.
unbelievable. You kept. I'm the John Tyler's
Don't scare 'em.
10th grandson.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's going on in the island today? We got a cart coming up here.
Well, I deliver
your
the
white
medicines
Ford.
and up packages here on Tylerton.
You deliver the medicine?
Uh-huh.
So you drive around the golf cart and deliver
Yeah.
to homes?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
I can still do it. I'm legally blind. I can't see your face, so I couldn't tell what you look
Oh,
like.
you're not missing out.
You see who's driving, don't you?
But you can deliver the goods for people, help them out.
Yeah, I use magnifying glasses.
Okay.
Actually, they'll
And
tell me
she
who's
knows
they
the
go.
roads here. She's lived here
Okay.
so long, so she can drive if I'm not here.
This is your cargo boat coming in?
Yep, it's one of them. Yep,
This is how you get all your food and everything?
yep.
Yep.
Food and medicine, lumber, whatever you need. That's how it comes over.
So Captain Jason.
Something that'll freak your mind.
Okay, what's that?
I'm 20 years older than he is. I got a daughter.
You
you're
robbed
older
the
than
cradle.
She was a
I didn't know
cougar
it.
when she didn't know what a cougar was.
Cougar when they had a word for it.
You started the cougar trend?
No. I said, damn, I'm a cougar. Didn't even know it. I gotta get the meds.
We done
Once a
it.
cougar, always a
Another
cougar.
boy that, well, actually two more boys that's our age done the same thing, married older women.
What do you think of the younger men?
Younger man? Oh, nowadays, now we get 2 cents for them.
What is this, a 6-foot wide main road?
Yep.
This is your post office.
Oh yeah, this is the little post. My sister used to be the postmaster. Now.
Oh, that is so
now she
cool.
is. Yep.
I mean, just everything is scaled
See y'all
differently.
later.
Take care. So this is normal to you, Jerry, but it's super interesting. These narrow streets, these old houses, it all feels so miniature.
This
You
is
wanna
a
get
little
something?
store. You wanna?
Yeah,
you wanna-
sure.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey guys doing? It's Coast Guard.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
Coast
cool.
Guard.
All right, so you get a few tourists here, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
I said, I don't know how bad their tourist is down here, but up home, when it's heavy, it's like 100 people or more in the afternoon.
Okay.
For about 3 hours, it's a nightmare, and then it's like all gone.
Right, because they come over in the boat and then go back. Okay. So you got pretty much everything you need to survive, huh?
Uh huh.
It's a nice little well-organized store.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
All right.
I hope you don't want a crab cake, 'cause we don't got none.
Well,
We're totally
Let me get
out
you,
of
Jerry.
seafood.
I got
we
this
got
one. Please, please.
Just these 3 drinks, or do you want something else?
I want a Snickers bar, please.
Okay, sure.
That's good they don't have crab because you said we're gonna do crab later.
we got a couple
Like the
dozen there.
freshies.
Oh yeah. I cooked them this morning.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you, ma'am.
later. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey. Do you guys like when you got missions out here on the island?
Oh, it's awesome. It's absolutely great out here.
Some souvenirs for the fam?
Yep, you don't make too many trips out here, so when you do, you try and stack up.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
See y'all later.
Thanks, you too.
It was 5 stores down here when I was a kid. 5 stores.
And
Only
just one now? Another Methodist church?
Yep, my dad's buried right over there.
Your dad's buried over there?
Yep, right the 4th one back on this, clear to the church, Smith. This one here, you could have bought this house a little while ago. That house went for 10 grand.
Are you serious?
The house next to me, the little one, that one sold for taxes 5,000. 5,000. Now, they're bad houses, you know, they need work, but you got the land ain't going nowhere. And
That was 10 grand.
10 grand.
So when the tide is up, I can see there was water
Yes.
there,
I'm sure it holds water there too.
and it's going all the way up into that lawn.
Yep.
Okay, so when you were a kid, you didn't have this problem on the island?
Not here, you know, not around the homes and all. No.
Okay, so
So
are you-
that started in probably the late 80s, early 90s. We started getting, it used to be what they call spring tide and fall tide. You would have like a week where the tide would come up and inundate the land and all, but then it would go down, you know, every 6 hours. But you would have a week of it, and then that's it. It wouldn't be no more until fall.
what's it now?
Now it's anytime the wind blows to the east. This guy here, I heard he was the guy who invented color X-ray. Something to do with a colored X-ray.
He's since moved on or died?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. See how the water will set under a house?
Yeah.
That's what happens. It'll sit there and little by little that house will sink and sink and sink and sink and sink.
Is that why that house went for 10,000?
More than likely.
This one's for sale.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
What do you think? How much?
I would think somewhere to 35 to 50, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
This is bad. That is marsh. These are muskrat.
Muskrat trails?
Yes, where the muskrats have been all through here. They really eat a yard up. This weren't this bad just a few years ago.
Oh man, that's gotta be tough.
Yeah. This is where my house was. Our house was moved from Tylerton over to Rhodes Point.
They built it here, put it on a ship?
Yeah, and it wound up sitting down there in the creek because it had a bad storm and it sat on a barge for about a week or two. Tornado ripped the roof off of that too. Probably 8 or 10 years ago. See now, they're saying the house there is older, but I swear this one looks older to me.
The red one?
Yeah, doesn't that look older than that one?
Yeah, maybe they just redid some things.
Maybe so.
This is a cute house.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it looks like really old.
It is cool.
This used to be the crab co-op, the women, or I guess it still is, but I don't think any women use it now. There's so few women to pick crabs.
So the men are out on the water, the women pick the crabs?
Yes, what it would be they would save a bushel of their catch and bring it to the wife to pick. And she would probably get maybe around 8 pounds out of a bushel. I would imagine it's closed.
Okay.
Yeah,
so where's it happening now?
In their homes. I bet it ain't 4 women on the whole island that pick crabs anymore.
I was reading the other day that the state had some new regulation where you couldn't do the crabs at homes.
Oh yeah, no, they can't.
They got money for this.
Yes.
We're doing it here, and now it's gone back to the homes to some degree.
Pretty much, because it just ain't enough to keep it running.
Yeah. So the right setup on the island, you got your home, you got your crab shanty, you got your boat, you got your traps, and you could live life on your terms for the most part as long as you're doing the work.
Pretty much. Nobody tells me what to do, and that's the main thing. Except when I was married, she told me what to do all the time.
I'm sure single life's a little bit hard out here, Jerry.
Yeah, not really.
Really?
No, I mean...
You're seeing ladies?
They stumble around once in a while.
What,
not very often, maybe every 2 years.
Okay. Ladies from the mainland come over?
Yeah.
Okay.
My last girlfriend, she moved here for a few months, but she had a lot of children. They didn't really like the place. I drove her out to Pittsburgh. I'd never been that far in my life in a car.
Pittsburgh?
Oh my God, I got stuck in a tunnel somewhere through Pennsylvania and had like arch tunnels. Well, I'm not thinking I'm driving a big old U-Haul panel van. And I went too far on the side and caught, on the arch of the thing. Had to hop out in traffic. Here I am, that's from nowhere. Luckily, the people in there must have seen this happen before because everybody stopped and just waited for me to get the van out of there. And I was like, oh my God, because if they'd have kept wanting, I'd have been scared. I'd be like, I don't know what to do. I remember one guy who spent nearly his whole life. He never left until about a year before he died. Wouldn't leave the island. Right here, the Maryland, Virginia line cuts right straight across the island.
Okay.
Right here was a store, and they would build half the store in Maryland and half the store in Virginia. That way, if there's anything illegal going on either side, they just shove it into the other state. And I've actually heard about, back in a long time ago, there'd be men wanted from Maryland or Virginia, and they would coy them into the store.
Okay.
And then a bunch of men would push the wanted man over into the state that he's wanted in. And I'd heard that had happened to a couple people. And I think more or less for piracy, stealing people's oysters and
right, because
stuff like that.
The cops couldn't cross state lines.
No, couldn't cross state lines.
The sheriffs couldn't cross state lines. Different counties.
Yes,
Different states.
And there was
okay.
a lot of, and of all the states in the country, I would say Maryland and Virginia, for 100 years, has the most animosity toward each other. I don't think any two.
I didn't know that.
I don't think any other two states had quite the same animosity toward each other. And it was all about oysters. It was all about oysters because they moved this line. This line's a zigzag now. Virginia got that. Was the colony because they weren't happy with not getting all the rocks, all the oyster rocks.
So the oyster wars happened right here.
Right here. One battle happened right there.
So they're literally just fighting over oysters.
Oysters, yeah.
Because that was the currency.
Possession of the oysters, yeah.
Okay. And then in Civil War times, Virginia with the Confederacy, Maryland with the Union, right?
Yes. But this is more or less Confederate territory.
This was Confederate territory.
Because I've actually found French coins. And I know French coins around 1865 were a payment that the French were helping the Confederates. And I find several French coins here.
Do you have those coins?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. If I can find them I got 2 trunks full of arrowheads and old things that I find around here and all. I'll get through it. We'll see if we can locate them. But yeah, I got one from 1865 or 3. Right in this place over here. This was a line store too. There was 4 of them that I can tell. They always talk about the island being dry because you can't buy liquor here. But sometime in the past you could, because you go to either one of these line stores and the broken gin bottles are everywhere.
Okay, so you can't buy alcohol here on the island now?
No alcohol. No, never has been.
People make moonshine?
I did once, a little bit, but no, not
People bring alcohol though, right?
People bring it from the mainland.
Okay, but you can't buy it here. Interesting.
Nope. The people who came here and the early pioneers, I say they came here a lot for the freedom. They were poor. These people were very, very poor, but I believe they came so they could live a free life, worship the way they wanted, and do the way they wanted. They were willing to put up with the poverty for the freedom.
And things have changed. Society's moved along materially. People have more money now.
Oh, a lot more.
But
I make more money in a day than my parents made in a week.
But still that tune carries on, as in you're out here for freedom. You're not out here to get rich.
No, nobody ever became a waterman to get rich.
So that's your priority in life. You want your freedom, enough to live off of.
Yep.
And you'll be way happier than if you have a lot of money but no freedom.
Yeah. And what I think America's always worked, why it worked, was because you had this push and pull from either side, and it kind of kept us centered, not going crazy this way or not going crazy that way. But now people are it's like football teams. You just choose a side, and I don't care what your side does. It's like I'm going to overlook everything my side does just to support my side.
Yeah. So you're not on a side, Jerry?
Nope, never have been. I voted Republican. I voted Democrat. I vote for the person I think's got the most intelligence. I don't want them to tell me what I want to hear. I want them to do what I think they should be doing. Personally, I think we all want the same thing.
Oh yeah.
We all want a nice life. We want our children to thrive. We want to thrive. And that's it. We want to be left alone to do what we want to do. We don't want to be overregulated. We don't want to be overtaxed. We just want to live. Just want to live without somebody telling you what to do every 5 minutes. This here is a place called Little Thurfer. It used to be a Native American village here. When I was a kid, my dad brought me here, and I sat right here on a little pile of oyster shells and found 14 arrowheads in probably 2 hours. You can't see it now. Tide's a little too high for it. But all in here is where you find arrowheads. They're all in these little holes and all around in here. They all wash out. A lot of it's gone. This was way out here, but at one time, there was a great big pile, probably knee high or so, of shells that went right across there. And you sit there and dig in these shells and just find tons of arrowheads.
Who was it here?
I would think the Anamessic Indians.
Okay, Chesapeake is a native name too.
Yep, that means Great Shellfish Bay. Chesapeake. It used to be piles of oyster shells, and they were burnt. You could tell that they'd roasted these oysters. And more than likely, they came in the fall for the oysters and the ducks, because crabs are perishable. I'm sure they ate them, but it would be perishable to them.
Yeah. Are these the stories that have been passed down, or you're just a history buff?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. I just love history. I do.
You do?
Yeah.
What's that out there in the water?
She's called the American Mariner. She was a Liberty ship built in the Second World War.
It sank, partially.
Yeah, they have it, it's a target. They use it to blow it up. Of a night, you'll hear boom, 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 boom all night long sometimes. My dad, when they first put her there, they put her there pristine. They said even the dishes and all the silverware was laid out on the tables. This is the school boat. This is the boat the children take to Chrisville every morning at 6 a.m.
So your son's on that boat?
My son's on that boat right there. He should be about the third seat up.
That is so cool. So that is the public school bus out here.
That is the public school bus.
How many kids going to school?
3.
They run that boat for 3 kids.
Yeah.
Because that's by law, right? A school bus has to go to someone's home.
Yeah. If it's only one kid aboard there, it has to do it. He's probably asleep. They all got their own pillow and blanket. When they get on the boat, they go to sleep. They sleep for the ride over in the morning, and they sleep for the ride back of evening.
Because they're getting up so early.
Yeah. Just be careful when the sea comes. Okay, watch out there. It's gonna be a little.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so getting back to your place now. Full circle.
Here's the boat I work on.
Miss Betty.
Miss Betty.
So how many of you guys are still here on the island?
Altogether, there might be 20 watermen on this island.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what were you saying about crabbing? I had the camera off, but you were worried about the small crabbers getting pushed out.
Well, every time they make a regulation, it kind of pushes out a few crabbers, because there's always a few crabbers living on the margin, living, with just barely getting by. And as soon as they make a regulation, that guy's gone, and then he's gone. The crab buyers say, "Oh, we've lost another waterman or two. We got to bump up the price," but the price never gets bumped up before we lose a few more watermen.
The young generation's not going to be doing this work.
Nope.
Who's going to be doing it?
Nobody that I think.
You think this is the end of it? Crabbing?
I think there's one boy over here. He's my son's age. I think he might go to the water, but that's because his dad and his grandfather and all are still working on the water. So it's possible that he might go work, but he's the only one. He's the only one.
So how are people going to eat crabs?
That's a good question. But you know how that is. As soon as there's a gold rush, people come in a hurry. So
yeah,
if the crabs come back with the right amount and the price is right, people will get back.
People will do the work.
Yep.
Okay.
When I first started, there was at least 100 watermen here, at least.
Okay, but your son isn't following your footsteps here.
I wouldn't think so. He's really smart, so I really want him to do something with his mind.
You don't want him crabbing?
It's too poor. I don't mind it, but
So with crabbing, you have to make your money while it's here, and then you have to save that money and live off it when it's lean.
Yeah, and that's what hurts you, because then you ain't got no spare money to do nothing with.
Yeah. He's returned. We heard some things banging around in there.
That's what it takes to get the things in there. Everything pile up.
got like 3 cases though.
Oh, I got tons of them, but these are the old ones. These are 12,000 years old, 12 to 13. These here are 8,000 to 9,000 years old. This here's around 8,000 to 9,000 years old. And all of these are all at least 12,700 years old.
How do you know how old they are?
The Clovis points are made, and they always have a fluted channel. That's where they're hafted. Like that. You go by the style, see? Now these are parallel flake points. See how the percussion?
So this is the evolution of arrowheads.
Yes, this is the first. This would be the second. This would be the third. And believe it or not, these are more scarce than any of them because we had a time period called Younger Dryas, and it caused this whole East Coast to turn to a desert for about 2,000 or 3,000 years. So there's very few of this type of Indian living here at the time.
Oh, interesting.
This is one of the last shot in the American Revolution. This is what's called chain shot. This was another one like this, and there was a piece of chain that linked the two, and they'd load them into a cannon, and they'd shoot it at the rigging of a sailing ship to take out all the sails. That way they couldn't sail. And this one came from the Battle of 1782 in the Straits, called the Battle of Cage's Straits. I think that's what they call it. I don't think they call it anything else. But I was just walking, and I think I just seen like a part of it.
Yep.
And I reached down and picked it up. And I was like, that's heavy. And then I looked around, I was like, oh, wow. And I thought it was a gate weight. They used to use old cannonballs to pull the gate to on old houses. But then I remembered reading the history book. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is right where the British commander said, load chain shot. And this is probably one of the chain shots he loaded and shot that day.
Paul Baker.
He come here one day, and he wrote copy number 2. He said, I don't even have one of these.
Oh,
He was the right. He said he didn't have one of these.
So that's a book all about the islands here?
Yes, a friend of mine a long time ago came to my house and said, I have this book. You need this book. And I swear I take this book with me everywhere. It goes with me everywhere.
Can you open it? What's inside?
Seeing it, what it is, it's all the little tines and all around here. It's got Smith, this is Chrisfield.
This is where I got on the boat this morning.
Smith Island and all in here in different places. Let's get out of these bugs.
Yeah, they are savage.
Yes, they are. Here, take the book.
Yep.
I'll put this in the house.
Jacob, how are they in here? That's a huge difference. Phew.
Now out here, I'm gonna show you. See, this is my house right there. This was my grandparents' house that was right here. This one, mine's 1880s. They said this one's around 1860s.
So it was right there where that trailer is?
Yeah, right there, but in front of the trailer.
More houses back then, huh?
Yeah, see, this is, if you look in here real deep, there's like my grandfather walking across the road here. You have to use a magnifying glass. But my grandfather's walking across the road. My uncles are here playing in a boat. That house is still there. That's the pink one. This one's gone. That one's gone. That one's gone. This was a restaurant down here on the water when I was a kid. They just tore it down. The big right over here was a big restaurant on the water. John Tyler, that's his 11th great-grandfather. We went down to the John Tyler place, and I showed him where Smith Island began.
11th great-grandfather.
11th great-grandfather. So it's 374 years that I can trace people of my family been on this island.
Do most people take it as seriously as you?
No. People don't care. Very few people care. There's a few, but it seems like if anybody cares a little, they really care a lot. You know what I mean? There's not much of, you're either in it or you're not.
Okay, you're borderline obsessed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is so cool.
If I hear a little, like if I see old photos, I'll post old photos. I love posting old photos of people that's died around here a long time ago and stuff. And I just love the old stuff. Love that.
So what do you think you've gained living your life versus someone that didn't live in a place with so many generations? And
I don't know. I guess a sense of anchorage. I guess you can really say, this is home.
fresh caught?
Fresh caught. We caught them yesterday.
Thank you, Jerry. You said you sell them to Captain White's Market near DC? Mm-hmm. And these are the best kind, blue crabs.
Blue crab, the best crab. Just a bite.
The people in DC or around the country at nice restaurants are eating crabs from here.
Yep. Oh yeah, DC definitely are. They go right to DC every crab we catch. No.
Oh, this looks so good.
How do you eat it? You break them in half?
I haven't done a crab forever.
Cut the face off of it. Cut the dead man off. Cut the legs off.
Let me see that camera, Jacob.
I'm
just going to go in on your dad's technique. There we go.
This is how my mother taught me how to do it. I watched her do that for years and years.
And you put it in vinegar.
Oh yeah, that's the way I like it.
Do you mind if I go no vinegar?
That's either way you want. There's no way of doing it. People don't understand that we rarely eat crabs. I might eat crabs 2 times a year, 2, maybe 3 times a year. Maybe eat soft crabs once or twice, oysters once or twice. Like a nephew of mine said, when he grew up, they ate crabs because that was a meal. And he said he didn't like them, no, he won't eat them. He rarely eats a crab of any kind, an oyster or anything.
That's interesting.
Because, you know, they were all so poor back then, and, you know, that was an actual meal, you know, they had to eat, more or less. A woman that's good at that, she would have just went, and every one of that would have been that quick. One woman, she could pick 5 pounds in a few minutes.
All right, Jared, let me give this a go.
Go ahead.
Jacob, going cameraman. See, I could eat this. I say that now. I could eat this all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Ain't they good? And they're better, and I think they're better than any from, like, when we go down near the ocean, they have a iodine taste to them. Mm-hmm. But our crabs here don't have that taste. They have.
Yeah, there's you obviously taste the salt water in them. Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're sweeter.
They're sweeter, but at a really nice balance.
Yeah. That's the way our oysters are here too. When they're running good, our oysters, they call them cagey Straits oysters. They're salty. They got a real nice salty flavor to them.
Sure, that was so good. Oh, yeah. So, Jerry, I mean, the job options here are the post office or the post office, right?
Pretty much. Post office, work at the restaurants, or work at the cake factory. That's it.
So if you're not crabbing or doing one of those things, you got to leave.
Yep, pretty much. Some carpentry, but now there's a lot of carpenters here, so it'd be hard to keep a steady work because you would do one job, and by the time you get to the other, somebody else has already took that job.
So all the young people pretty much moved to the mainland these days.
Everybody my age. The only other person here my age was the guy we talked to in Tylerton this morning, Danny, my friend Danny. He's the only one my age here. There's a couple younger, and of course older, but the group that was my age, just me and him.
So Jerry, you're an endangered species, basically.
Pretty much. I feel endangered every now and then.
Jerry, in the grand finale, right?
The cake.
Not just a cake.
Not just a cake. The Smith Island cake.
Oh. And that's what you guys are known for, huh?
Oh, yeah. Famous in the Maryland State's official dessert. Yep. The story of this cake is back in the probably late 1800s, early 1900s. The women would make this cake for their husbands on the drudge boats. They would go away in October and come back in December, so it's a couple months. And their wives would send them with these cakes because they're moist and the fudge icing on it would hold the moisture in. That way they could keep it on the boat for something from home they could have for a few weeks, and that's how the cake started. And their cake, believe it or not, it's from the factory, but it is almost identical to what Mom used to make.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where does somebody get this? Do they ship it off the island?
Yeah, the guy that makes them here on the island, they go everywhere. I'm pretty sure he sends them too, but when I worked at the cake factory, they went everywhere. We sent some, one went to Denmark.
All right.
Australia.
I'll get the link of the business and put it in the description of this.
Okay.
Thing. Right? Do you think they'd want the business?
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
All right, Jerry, I want to thank you for a few things today. One is crabbers / fishermen like you allow people like me to eat great seafood.
Well, you're welcome.
So without you guys, we can't enjoy that.
Well, that's good.
And it's good to see where it comes from. I mean, we didn't show it exactly on the water today. You said the fishing was low right now.
Yeah, it's not quite to the time where they're in here.
Yeah.
They're still out in the deep water channel.
Okay. And then thank you so much for bringing us into your world. It was very interesting.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Nah, loved it. And lastly, you have a YouTube channel. I'm gonna leave that link down below, guys. And also you said, if anyone wants to help with your roof.
Yeah, if you want to fund the roof, you know, $1, that'd be plenty.
$1.
$1.
Okay, so however someone does that, I'll leave your email. Is that what you want to do? Or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, that would work.
Leave your email. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to help out Jerry's roof, I'm going to leave the email to Jerry down below here. And then if someone wants a grand tour like I had today, I know you're busy with fishing, with crabbing, but
Sundays I'm free.
Sundays you're free, and someone could hire you to do something like that if you're interested.
Sure. I'll tell them the history of the island.
History of the island. Yeah, you're very knowledgeable about the island, Jerry.
Yeah. It's like a sponge. That's a curse. I don't forget anything. Some people forget it, and then they're all happy. It's like, I don't forget anything.
Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
What do you say? What do you say on the island? Like ahoy matey at the end of something, or what do you say? That was cheesy, but what's the Smith Island saying?
See you later.
See you later.
See you later.
Thanks for coming along, guys. Until the next one.